Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving in to some Heavenly Demon 2 content with a showcase for the new Super Evolution of SABO and Koala. Now, I'm going to take you back about 5 years' time to a video that I put out on the channel, like, at the very, very beginning of my OPTC journey of YouTube, I suppose, and I'm actually baffled to see that this was 5 years ago. Like, that's actually wild to me that we've been doing content for 5 years now. Really, really crazy stuff. But whenever I thought of, well, when I saw the Super Evolution of SABO and Koala 6 Plus, I immediately thought of Heavenly Demon 2. And the reason I thought about Heavenly Demon 2 is because once it came out around the time of the release of SABO and Koala. But on top of that, SABO and Koala were just such a revolutionary character, not only for what they do in removing the negative orb effect, but also at taking this particular piece of content down. Now, this was 5 years ago when the content was very fresh. We didn't have stuff like level limit break. We didn't have crazy ship investments. Hell, we didn't even have like more than 300 cotton candy, I'm pretty sure. So a lot has changed since then. And if you look at this team, we have Dogstorm, Cat Viper, Vivi, Rebecca, V1. Both of them now have Super Evolutions, and on top of the SABO and Koala Super Evolution. So I thought, let's take this team concept, let's rerun it back, and try and make it a bit more no-stall to see how SABO Koala goes. I would love Luffy and Law to have a 6+. Once Luffy and Law get a 6+, we might just rerun this team and just sort of showcase them like side by side. But I did want to sort of give this video a shout out because this is like old school Stump at its finest, taking down some of the hardest content. Fuck, we're stalling on turn 1 of Heavenly Demon 2, which is just absolutely ludicrous to me. Not only that, but the video goes, like, look, we only just killed Diamante there. Only just. And we're using something, we're using poison sockets too. The video goes for 17 minutes. Absolutely wild scenes. But the big upside to SABO Koala in this content is their swap gives color affinity. You can't use color affinity on the final stage. Vivi Rebecca were built for the content itself, and obviously having the two together just like made life a lot easier. So, like I said, let's take the team, let's dive in. If you guys enjoy the video, but like button, hit the subscribe button, do that good stuff. If you guys want to see more throwback content, let me know in the comment section below. And with that said, let's take a look at Heavenly Demon 2 SABO Koala 6+ showcase 5 years later. Alright, so here we are with the new and improved SABO Koala 6+. Team that looks very similar. I did sort of just substitute out Morley for Usohachi. I don't even know if Usohachi was in the game 5 years ago. Like, he might have been. I feel like I want to say that he was, but like 5 years ago was like start of Wano, so it could have just been before Usohachi's release. But I feel like Usohachi, like, Morley's a great unit and everything like that, but look, we want to make this no stall, and having the cooldown reduction, having the defense removal works very, very nicely. As you can see, we have the Whale Shark chip, the new and improved Laboon chip, and it's just perfect for Heavenly Demon 2. It removes 1 turn of paralysis with its level 12 mods, but the idea of this particular team, way back when, was that you would use the swap of Neko and Inu to remove the 1 turn of paralysis. Both of those strats will work absolutely fine, but the upside here is now we don't really have to worry about our switches too much. Vivi, Rebecca, V1 are the goats of this content now that they have a 6+. It makes it very, very easy. SABO Koala also have the ability to remove Special Bind, which is another very pesky part of this content, and that's why Karasu is here. I decided to keep Karasu on the team because, like, Revolutionary Army themed a little bit more, and you get 2 turns of cooldown for your Cerebrals and your Free Spirit characters, which is pretty damn nice when you are running a setup like this. And I just really didn't need to replace him on the team, like, to be honest. Because we aren't using Luffy and Law, we're using our own SABO Koala. I did need to bring a support for Bind, but since 5 years has passed, we have the Raizo support to remove 1 turn of Bind for the Monet stage. But SABO Koala, what makes them so good in general is they have a new swap ability that still removes Despair, Paralysis, and Special Bind, but they also give themselves a matching orb, and they give adjacent orbs recovery orbs. So this is actually really, really good. Not that we need it so much for Stolia-based content, but like some of the newer characters that have come out, being Yamato, Notama, and the new Nami, they want you to overheal, and having a character that can give 3 recovery orbs on a switch, just like a tandem orb mechanic, is very, very powerful. Their special still removes block orbs, still removes the negative orb effect, and still gives an attack boost, but now it's a 3-turn attack boost to Cerebral and Free Spirit characters at level in rank 5 that can be double increased, which is very, very strong. They also remove Special Bind by 6 turns with their special, and because their swap removes Special Bind, you can use it very, very nicely. As you can see there, we're still using the Karasu special. That's still going to work pretty fine for this particular run, and then we use the SABO Koala special after it, but like, you could easily just replace Carousel in this team like another cooldown reducer if you guys wanted to. But again, this is more of a showcase video, not like a how-to video. However, this team, it's very accessible. Besides, obviously, level down break and 6+ characters. It's very accessible in the sense that we don't use, like, any crazy supports. But like I said, I've done thousands of walkthroughs on this content, and there are just way more accessible teams that don't use any supports with stuff like Verse Ace and stuff like that as well. So, if you guys have those types of characters, go check out those videos. The playlist will be in this, like, particular video, so go check that out if you guys are struggling with this content. On top of their special giving an attack boost, their swap gives a color affinity boost, and their special can increase the duration of the color affinity turn. So if you have a 2-turn color affinity boost, you can use their special. It turns it into a 3 turns, which is very good for sort of carrying color affinity from one stage into another. Their swap gives the color affinity buff, and with their super swap, they give 2 turns of a massive, I believe it's a 2.5 times color affinity, which is actually pretty big. The downside to the character is that you need to use 8 swaps to get this to work. And when you're living in a boosted meta and you don't get your swaps charged, then you are going to be in for a really rough time. And it's the biggest problem with Wiping and Ace, and it is why a Wiping and Ace doesn't see as much play as some other characters, purely because you have to spend so much time swapping the character that you're not really ever going to need to, one, get the super swap off. Wiping and Ace is, you definitely need the Wiping and Ace super swaps, only way to get into their dual form. But with SABO and Koala, you're not really in a position where you really need to get that super swap to see the full potential of them, which is actually pretty good. However, I would have loved them to just make it 4 turns, because the super swap itself, it's nothing too game breaking. It's nothing too groundbreaking in the sense that it's going to just decimate content for you. So I feel like they could have just made it 4 turns. But that's my big gripe with the unit. Over in PvP, they're an absolute menace. By the time this video is out, I think I'll have the PvP showcase up for SABO Koala and the new and improved Freak Spirit team with Dragon. The combination of the two works great. They do a lot of damage. They're not just based around crit anymore. They do defensive drops. They do damage output. They're very, very good over at PvP. And because they're a SABO and Koala unit, obviously you have a lot of very good supports that can work alongside them as well. Downside to the fact that it's Koala is that you lose out on other Revolutionary Army characters like Robin and Koala. You miss out on some supports that can go on SABO, which is a little bit of a problem. I also want to say that they do something for Revolutionary Army characters as well. I can't exactly remember what they do, but I might be getting my wires crossed with PvP. But all in all, like, the added utility of Special One, it's quite nice. It's a nice little cherry on top of what they were already doing. But for me, the recovery orbs in the swap is the big one. Now that we're getting super tandems that can be used through different types of orbs, that's always very, very promising. And having extra healing for characters that need to be overhealed, like some of these newer characters, makes SABO and Koala a very illustrious unit. Plus, their Freak Spirit and their Cerebral, Freak Spirit especially being the best class in the game. But they have very good classes, they have pretty good colors. They synergize really, really well with a lot of other characters in the game. And the fact that they're now a 3-turn attack boost, it's pretty damn nice. But that is Heavenly Demon 2 in a nutshell with the new 6+ SABO Koala. I don't really want to take on any more content with the unit. I just thought this would be a very fun video to make. And going back 5 years was a bit of a blast from the past and very nostalgic for myself and the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, below the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Let's